Our favourite nutrition scientist, Jo, is back and she's got a new book coming out. I'm really excited about this one. All things fibre. We need to eat more fibre.
We do. We've forgotten about poor old fibre, so I'm bringing it back. Fibre is coming back in a big way. So yeah, we're going to make our own flatbread. So I'm going to get you started on that, Justine. We're using whole grain flour. So this is just such an easy way to start off. Switch from your white flour to wholemeal.
Yes.
You've got all the fibre in there. And the great thing about in the grain is when you lose the fibre, you're actually throwing away lots of the nutrients and the phytonutrients as well. So it's really important to make sure that you're getting these things back into your diet. So, and all we're going to mix this with is some extra virgin olive oil, some Greek yoghurt, a little pinch of salt and some baking powder. And then I'm going to add, and this is completely optional, I've got some nigella seeds and some cumin seeds. And we're just going to mix that through the dough, and that's going to make our gorgeous little flatbreads that are the base for this Middle Eastern dish.
We touched on the fibre in wholemeal flour, but it's not just about getting the fibre in there. I really love the flavour of wholemeal breads. I like the nuttiness of it.
I do too. Now, while you're doing that, I'm going to make our topping, which is a beef mince. But here's my little trick. I know that plant-forward or plant-based diets are all the rage right now, but I much prefer the term plant-rich. That's how you get the nutrient density of your animal foods, like our Greek yogurt, like our beef mince that is so fantastic for protein, for iron, for zinc, and so on. But I'm going to fibre boost it and add some plant protein by mixing it with lentils. And the little bonus there is that this is such a budget-friendly thing to do, right?
Yeah, a can of lentils should be in everyone's pantry. It's also quite neutral in flavour, so anyone who may go, oh, I don't like lentils, you don't taste them in there, particularly with all the spices in there.
All the spices in there and with the meat. Honestly, you forget that the lentils are even in there, but they're giving such an important nutrient boost and making that meat go further. So I'm just chopping up some garlic.
Okay. And I'm just going to take this out of the bowl for a moment and give it a knead. Does it need a lot of kneading? Do we need to prove this bread?
It really doesn't. Look, and if you're in a rush, you literally only have to leave this for about 20 minutes. So we can leave this just while we're cooking the meat.
All right, back into the bowl and we'll leave that for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Great.
So into my pan, I'm just going to pour some of our extra virgin olive oil. So while I'm cooking the mince, I could get you to make our nice citrusy yoghurt. So we're going to use more Greek yoghurt. So all we're going to do is mix our Greek yoghurt with a little bit of the rind and some of the juice from a lemon, some fresh mint. And that's going to form the basis of our meal. So it's a very Middle Eastern type spiced dish, this.
Love these flavours together. Got these lovely giant mint leaves here. Did you want them finely chopped up?
Beautiful, yes please. So as much mint as you like into the yoghurt.
Okay, I'm going to roll them up and finally chiffonade them, as we say.
Very professional. And I just want to soften my onions. Make sure that they don't burn. I don't want them to be black, and I just want them to be nice and soft. When you start seeing them go translucent, you've got that lovely oniony, garlicky smell. So I'm just using some nice lean beef mince. I've got my good fats already in this dish by adding my extra virgin olive oil. So a nice lean meat is what we want. And then just using your wooden spoon, just break up the meat as it's cooking. So it's not like, you know, when we do a bolognese and you want it to cook for 45 minutes. This is actually going to be a fairly quick cook with mince.
Yeah, it's not going to be completely saucy. It's more about having the meat quite dry and spiced.
Oh, smell that lemon.
I know, right? Good hit of that. And you wanted some of the juice in there too?
Just about from half of the lemon will be perfect.
And Jo, can I get some salt for that one too?
You sure can.
Tiny bit of salt. There we go.
Yeah, that's all you need. You know, people always expect me to say no salt at all, but actually, of course, salt brings out the flavour. And we do have a requirement for some salt. The problem comes when you're having way too many processed foods that contain lots of salt already, and then you're unaware of how much you're also adding at home, you know. But about 70% of most people's salt is actually coming from the ultra-processed foods they're eating, not from what we're doing in the kitchen. So in go my spices. I've got some cumin, some paprika, and some cinnamon, which sometimes we don't think about in a savoury dish, right?
Middle Eastern food, lots of cinnamon in it.
And then our tomato paste goes in. Lovely source of lycopene, gentlemen, very good for you. That's an antioxidant associated with helping keeping your prostate healthy. And then this is one, do you use this much? This is pomegranate molasses.
I love it, but I don't use it as much as I should. What are the benefits of that one,
I
Jo?
love it. Well, I mean, pomegranate is one of the highest antioxidant fruits.
Is that right?
Yeah, and this is really just concentrated pomegranate juice. But you know what? I use it because it gives so much flavour.
Yeah. And a little goes a long way too.
A little goes a long way, yeah. And then finally, my lentils are in there. And I'm just using canned lentils. There's nothing wrong with having your dried legumes is fantastic. But you know what? For convenience, and I bet you will use more legumes if you have some canned lentils, chickpeas, beans in your pantry.
And I have both because it depends on the recipe. If I'm doing sausages and lentils, a very French dish, I'd want to cook my lentils from scratch so have a little bit more bite in it. But when you're cooking it like this into a dish where you're almost disguising the lentils, canned's fantastic.
Yeah, great.
Just drain them really well, I guess, and make sure you just give them a wash.
Yeah, I tend to drain them into a sieve and then run cold water over them. And then, they're perfect in a dish like this. So that is about ready. So we can set that aside. And all we're going to do with the flatbreads is divide it into 4, roll them out nice and thin, a little bit of olive oil into our pan, and then we literally fry them for a few minutes either side. And then we're going to be ready to start assembling.
Sounds great.
Yum! So this is lovely. See how it's just nice and golden brown? It is so worth making your own flatbreads.
Oh, so good.
It takes no time at all. Oh, and the smell.
We've used cumin seeds and nigella seeds in there. I just think they're the best seeds for this, particularly to go with this mince.
We spread our little yoghurt out as kind of like the base. Nice. Now, I might get you to... Have you got any tips for getting the arils out of a pomegranate?
I do, and it's probably like everyone else's tip. I just hold it between my fingers and tap it into the bowl away from the top because it's really hard to get out pomegranate stains.
Why do you think I'm giving you the job, not me? I'm far too messy.
Oh, look at this. Pomegranates, they just are like little jewels, aren't they?
Oh, I just love them. They're so delicious.
A pop of sweetness.
And you know, growing up in Scotland, we didn't have pomegranates, so it still feels quite luxurious to me. Oh, you see, that's good.
Is this the way you do it?
No, and I've tried the smashing thing, but somehow I didn't quite have your technique. I like this technique.
See how it's splattering on the side of the bowl? So if you get low into the bowl and do it, you're safe.
Nice.
There we go.
Come on the show with Justine and learn something new every time.
There we go. Wow, look at that. It's a work of art.
Now, you could use some dukkah here, some za'atar, any of those sort of Middle Eastern type spice mixes. I've just used some toasted pine nuts. And then we're going to use this as my current obsession. You could do that one, and I'll just put some pomegranate on there. That's pickled red onion. Now, you could use some raw red onion if you slice it really finely. But I've got to admit, I'm so obsessed with this right now. I'm having it for breakfast, in my sandwiches.
And it's the colour that gets me every time.
The colour is amazing.
I just like it because it takes away the harshness of a raw onion. But you've still got the crunch there, particularly if you only pickle it for a couple of hours or even just leave it there for 10 minutes will make a difference. That is gorgeous.
One last little mint leaf on the top, I think. So how easy was that? This is the Middle Eastern spiced beef and lentil mix that we did on our yoghurt flatbreads with our lovely lemony citrusy yoghurt.
Stunning.
Let's tuck in, shall we?
I think we should.
This is one of my favourite meals. Honestly, I served this the other night when I had guests over for dinner and they thought, I'd spent hours in the kitchen making this. So, you can impress, but actually it's super easy. Delicious.
It is delicious. I'm going to make that at home because I just think that is so nice and it's healthy and it's good for you and there's lots of good fibres in there too.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks for having me.